This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Right, we are back, baby, ready to rock and roll with our myedgedrink.com Miami Dolphins report with Marcel, Louis-Jacques. As you can see, we got
working on my Chris Collinsworth slide in, man.
There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. I told you. Yeah, you come to South Florida, the Cubans just pollute everybody, and nobody is on time anymore, and it's just our fault. We just, you probably had a little Cuban coffee at some point while you've been here, and that's where we kind of slide in that virus that you'll never end up, going on time anywhere. So,
yeah.
When was the last time you had Cuban coffee? When was it?
Not a big coffee guy, to be honest. I maybe had it once or twice since I've been here. Last August.
That's it. Since last August, you've been polluted.
No, speaking of virus, it's not COVID, but I just feel like I got a cold like every month now. I don't think all the traveling helps, but it's been a long week.
Nature B. I'm just telling
you. Yeah, we're toughing it out, though.
Nature. I've been taking it for 20 years. 20 years. Okay?
I've never been sick.
You've been on with me for a year. How many times do I have a cold? I think it's happened once, I think in the last year or maybe twice. No, maybe once only. And that's because I left my mouth open because I sleep with two fans hitting me. So I have to cover my mouth. But if I leave my mouth open and the air hits directly into my throat, that's it. I wake up the next day and that's the only reason I got it. I didn't get it from somebody else. So I'm just telling you.
Yeah, New York, I think New York City got me.
2 golden capsules every single day, bro. It boosts that immune system.
I've been hitting the airborne gummies shaped like a little orange slice, like 3 of them a day all week. And let's see, a bottle or 2 of emergency, some Zyrtec. I mean, it's the season, man.
Yeah.
I can afford a thing or 2.
My boy Chris Thomason, who I believe covered the Dolphins for the Sun Sentinel for a short time. He's been covering the Vikings now for several years. He took a picture right now, and he says, the Vikings have not unretired Fran Tarkenton's number 10. It's Dan Chisna playing the role of Tyreek Hill on the scout team, wearing number 10.
That's smart.
Yeah, the only problem is this is the same crap as Lamar Jackson. You can't duplicate it, dude. That's why that offense works so well in the regular season, because it's so hard to prepare for it every week. Once you get to the postseason, then they can prepare for it and they shut it down. But that's the reason why it's so difficult. And Tyreek, who's going to act like Tyreek? Who's going to act like Lamar Jackson in practice? Nobody, dude. Please.
All that's going to do is get you used to looking for number 10.
Right.
That's
right.
You can't replicate that speed. You can't replicate that type of playmaking ability. You can try.
No.
You can try, though.
And can I get racial? They got a white dude doing it. Come on, bro. Come on.
Man. Fast is fast, baby. Fast is fast.
He ain't fast. He ain't that fast. Okay. I'm not sure if I know a white dude that fast. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who's
Ryan Swoops ran at 4.25.
Who was it? Who's the bad white dude that was really fast? Who?
Ryan Swoops from Texas A&M ran a 4.25.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
And then I think a neck injury or something like that ended his career.
Yes, he did. He did run. I don't know if it was 4.2, but yeah, I remember him being a fast guy.
It was 4.25 or 4.35, man.
I think it's a 4.3. Yeah.
Let me see.
4.2 is sick. But yeah, there's only a couple of those guys in the history of the game that had those cat-like quicknesses of Tyreek Hill in the shade of white. And so I'm just saying, yeah, I'm with you. It's just that you see 10, see that number, burn it into your mind.
Make
sure you know where 10 is the entire
time. Don't be the Ravens. Don't forget where number 10 is.
I thought the kid did all right last week. And, it was a tough situation for him to be in. What do you expect this week from Skyler now that he gets to have the game plan designed for him now this week? I would imagine he might be a little better this week, a little bit more comfortable.
375 yards at least, 3 touchdowns, maybe an interception just to keep him human. No, look, I think that I think something that nobody really considered at game time, and maybe not even up until yesterday, because I didn't think about it until I was sitting in the press conference yesterday with Mike McDaniel. Thompson went back to the sideline between every series with nobody there with him, no other quarterback there with him. The role of a backup on the sideline is invaluable in the NFL. They're their eyes on the sideline. Hey, this is what they're doing. Hey, look out for this. Or if they're a vet talking to a younger guy, maybe try X, Y, Z. Like, there's nothing for him there on the sideline. It was coach talk and then right back out on the field. So it was an impossible situation. Look, after the Bills game, we sat on this show and we said, injuries aren't an excuse. Injuries aren't an excuse. They're still not. But the closest thing that an injury gets to being an excuse is when it happens to your quarterback. And damn sure when it happens to your second string quarterback after that.
Yeah, your 2 tackles, your 2 starting corners. Come on, dude. I mean, we talked about this on Sunday. That's 3 of the 5 most important positions in the NFL are your shutdown corners, your tackle, and your quarterback, dude. I mean,
I'm willing even to look past all of that because everybody is an NFL player. Like, I'm willing to look past all of that. But your first and second string quarterback both getting hurt. You need your 3rd round rookie mid-game after the first time ever practicing as a backup at practice during the week with no teammates who play the position on the sideline with him. Impossible situation. And once the Jets switched the coverage up, you could see that's when the panic started to settle in. The feet never got set. He's hanging on the ball for too long. He's pressing. That's when I think things took the next step. So, everybody who are, willing to throw shots at Skylar Thompson and bury the kid after one game, he deserves a full week of preparation.
Marcel, it's stupid to think that he was going to play over Tua. It's stupid to think that he could start in the NFL right now, and it's even more dumb to make any determination on him after one start. That's the problem in this world. It's just there's so little common sense. And what happened to him in that game is exactly what we all talked about. Those of us that actually know the game. Once he gets in there, defenses are going to completely change than what he saw in the preseason. He didn't play against 1s and 2s. He didn't play against anybody scheming against him and figuring him out. They didn't need to do that in the preseason. That's why he was able to take advantage. What happened to him was nothing but normal. That would happen to any 7th round pick. The problem is that one time in the 6th round, some guy named Tom Brady, all of a sudden that changes the narrative that anybody that comes off the bench 6 or 7, they can do it. Tom Brady did it. Meanwhile, Tom Brady's the only one that's done it in 50 years. It's like, this is our problem, dude. There's not a lot of reality.
Brady's different. Brady was preparing like the starter even. I know that people say, you have to prep like a starter even when you're in the back. No. Brady was first guy in, last guy out, even as a rookie, 6th round, whatever the hell.
He was just a guy that fell through the cracks. That's all. He was a starting quarterback. But most guys that are in the 6th and 7th round, outside of that in the last 50 years, they're not going to do anything for you. That's just the way
I think and again, from an arm talent perspective, he was better than Teddy Bridgewater in training camp. Skylar Thompson was.
For sure.
But there's a reason why Teddy is still on the team. It's more than just being able to throw the ball. It is, mentally being ready to play. But I think that
understanding all those defenses. He knows you're not really going to fool Teddy. He's going to know all of that stuff, dude. He's super smart. You can't beat that.
I think you see somebody who looks like they had a week to prepare here. I think that we see somebody who's got Teddy at least on the sideline. I'm not sure if Tua will be. I'm sure he'll be at the game. I'm not sure if he'll be I'm not sure if he'll be on the sideline or if he'll be up in a box somewhere. I'm not positive what kind of steps they're going to take on game day with him. But it does sound like Tua's got a shot at least clearing protocol this week. He's not going to be active. He's not going to play, but he's got a shot at least clearing protocol.
You know what they're doing. You know what they're doing, right?
Well, yeah, Mike is saying, I got cooked for playing this kid 2 weeks ago. You got me, you know what, up. If you think I'm going to keep him active or leave any doubt as to whether or not he's playing this week, 2 weeks after the concussion, like I don't.
They have to go. What Teddy's doing this week, they're doing it with him this week, so they can play him next week. Because if they didn't do this week with Tua, then next week would be the week that they would be doing. Then he would not be able to play against Pittsburgh. That's what they're doing now. They're getting him in here this whole week and all that, so they can say, "Oh yeah, he passed everything." Now next week he can go practice, and Mike will say, "Well, we'll see how he progresses and all that." And he's playing next week.
Look,
Do you have any doubts that he's playing next week against Pittsburgh? Is there any doubts?
Really. Not really. But one thing about Mike that I have to say, he really doesn't bullshit, man. Like some coaches, like if they don't want to give you an answer, they will. Yeah, we'll see how everything's playing out. We'll see this. Oh, you're gonna have to ask the doctor about that. I'm not really sure. Mike won't lie to us. If he can't say something, then he will, maybe elaborate in a different way or like talk you in a circle because he's smart, and that's what smart people have the ability to do. Mm-hmm. But like, he's not going to sit there and lie. Like, I don't think he's going to sit there and play a game with that. He just came out on Wednesday and said, "Yeah, nobody is playing." Like Teddy, Tua, they're not playing. It's going to be Skyler. They'd have to do that. I mean, in the court of public opinion, yeah, it probably bought him a little bit of goodwill, but like, he didn't have to do that, whether he made a decision or not. There's no gamesmanship in this guy. So I think if Tua is going to play next week, as soon as Mike McDaniel knows, I think the rest of us will know. Like, yeah, that's how I feel about him. That's what I believe the kind of guy that kind of coach that Mike is and the kind of person he is with us. With
Armstead looks like he's going to play now.
I don't know about that.
Have you seen him out there?
No, he's not practicing. He's not practicing. But that's kind of, and Mike even admitted yesterday that that's kind of been the new normal for them. Like he's the kind of guy. He said he has never trusted a player in his career.
I heard
the way that he trusts Teron Armstead. He trusts him like, okay, if you say that you can't play, then I believe that you really can't play. If you say you can, I know that you're going to give everything you've got in here. And I also know that you don't need a full week of practice reps in order to be ready for Sunday. So I don't know. I think it might be a good idea just to start him or just to sit him for a week with Thompson playing. Obviously, like it sounds counterproductive, right? Because you want to keep your rookie quarterback as protected as possible. The way I see it, like you're playing with house money with your third string quarterback playing, man. Third string quarterback, hot team coming into town like the Vikings. 3-3 is on the low end, but still within the realm of possibility of where the people thought this team would be anyways after 6 games. Like there's a lot of season left to play. I think it might go a long way just to keep Armstead off his foot for a little while, but I do not have a medical degree. I do not.
All right, so walk me through narratives that continue to get crushed with Tua. So apparently he's not sociable. He doesn't really get along much with his teammates, doesn't hang out much, but yet, I don't know, goes out with them, goes to Tyreek's house on the podcast. Tyreek's at his house, takes him out to dinner. Yesterday, shows up on the field. I'm watching videos of people. You can see the smiles on their faces when he walks by. You see the people dabbing him. Waddle's happy. So what's all this? Hey, listen, Beasley was one of those guys that I was having my own discussion with him several weeks ago in training camp. Oh, he doesn't do this and that, and I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? He socializes, and our boy Omar called him a weirdo. I'm sorry, dude. From what I heard in Alabama and then now here, it's kind of the same guy. He actually does socialize with people behind the scenes. It's just that I think people.
I wouldn't go that far.
Marcel, I think that people in the media don't understand that we're not important to Tua. So he's not going to allow us in his world. And that's it. That's just the way it goes.
I will concede that part. And I would not call him a weirdo or any of that. I will not say that he's the same guy at Alabama that he is now. I get from several people. I have heard from several people just while asking around or involuntarily. They weren't messing with him in Alabama. But that's in the past. That was years ago at this point.
Not messing with him. I'm saying that he was social with his teammates. He was close to his teammates.
Not at Bama. Maybe here's a little different. He's away from his family shadow. Like he's kind of his own person. He's rich. He's like it's a different scenario, and he's older now. But at Bama, no. Like I never thought it was like an important enough thing to bring up in writing or social media. But like that's the thing I've been told since I've gotten here was at Bama it was practice, game, go home with the family. There was no going out with the team.
He's not that. But in the locker room and on the field and all that, he was incredibly social with all his teammates. And
I think it's a thing where like, anyway, y'all have played team sports before. There are plenty of guys you get along with in the locker room that like, I'm not really trying to hang out outside of work.
Exactly. Yes.
Like I've been on beats with people where it's like, yeah, we can talk and chat in the media room, but like I'm not going, we're not going to go. I'm not going over to your house later. Like it's not that big a deal. Like you can work. I've had plenty of coworkers like that. We have a great time at work. We're driving to work, so on and so forth. But I'm not going to see you after I clock out. So like I think it was that kind of scenario where like, look, you can win those games, and Cal Brandt, who. Not necessarily somebody I go to for advice, but
he's a comedian turned sports host.
But he did have a good point about Russell Wilson a week or so ago, where when you come in and you're the highest paid guy on the team, you have to be one of two things. And this isn't exactly apples to apples, but just hear me out. You have to be one of two things. You have to be very good at your job, or you have to be very cool in the locker room, a very good dude in the locker room. Russell Wilson is neither. That is why that locker room is falling apart. Tua at Alabama, whether they rock with him or not, was winning games. He was very good at his job.
And a good dude.
It don't matter. He could have been a good dude, bad dude, cool dude, funny guy. It didn't matter. He was winning. I get that. That's what they came to Alabama to do.
Sure.
So like here, I think like, again, I think he's grown up a little bit. I think he's more comfortable in himself. I think that he's got a coach that's bringing it out of him as well. Like I get no sense again. I get no sense that like the team his teammates don't like him here, or that like they won't play for him. It's almost quantifiable when you watch him enter a game and when you watch the team play without him, that even they believe they are better with him. That's why I never understood the reports last year, any reports where anyone thought the Dolphins were better without Tua. Look at the damn Ravens game. He enters the game.
It's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I've never seen a more galvanizing event in a football game since sporting event period, since Willis Reed ran out of the damn tunnel, than watching the Dolphins respond to Tua entering the game. All of a sudden, it felt like less like a game they might win to, wow, this is a game they should win.
Yeah, it's funny because a couple of days ago, some guy goes, well, what they should do is, he's got these injuries, move on and go find another guy next year. And then I said to him, I'll take Tua over the field. I go, have you watched since Marino? It's what, Ray Lucas? It's Fiedler? It's Fitz? It's Pennington? It's Tannehill? It's Cutler? Is that what you want? Because that's what the field's been for 20 years. It's so funny how people are like, oh, yeah, no, we could go get another quarterback. And they forget that they haven't had a quarterback since Dan Marino. And that Tua is the best quarterback they've had since Dan Marino. And then I think that conversation enlightens some people, because you kind of sit back and say, oh, shit, that's right. For 20 years, we've gone through all these names, John Beck and Pat White, and holy shit, that's right. Tua's way better than all these guys. And then the other thing I said, so if he misses 2 games here, he missed a couple games last year. Let's say he missed a couple games before that. So let's say he misses a total of 5, 6 games, 7 games in the last 3 years. Well, by the way, this guy, Joe Burrow, missed 6 games with his knee injury. So almost the same amount that Tua has missed in 3 years. So I go, do you want the guy that might miss 2 games a year for you, but balls out? Or do you want to go back to the well again, to Jake Cutler and to Chad Pennington and to John Beck and to Pat White and to Ryan Tannehill? Is that where you want to go? Because that's where you've been. You know what I mean? It's so funny that some people still don't appreciate what they have in that young man right now, which is it's way better than anything you've had since Marino.
My friend Mina Kimes told me last year when we had this exact conversation that the conversation is not Tua or Joe Burrow again. It's not Tua or Justin Herbert, because neither Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow are available, and those comparisons don't matter anymore. It is now Tua versus who is realistically available to you as the Dolphins. Tua or Jimmy Garoppolo, I'll take Tua. Tua or Matt Ryan, I've just seen Matt Ryan. Please. I'll take Tua. Tua or a rookie. Have you seen this rookie class?
Yeah. No,
I take Tua over Kenny Pickett. I would take Tua over. I don't know if it's not fair to say Malik Willis yet, but like now, I would take Tua over Malik Willis.
He's a project anyways. It's not fair.
Like, I'm just saying, like, I've seen Kenny Pickett play a full game and a half.
I like him. I like Kenny Pickett, but he's going to go through rookie pains.
Yeah, D-Talk, I am cool, bro.
Yeah.
I like one day you could text Mina too or talk to her on the phone. She is really cool. It was a joke, my guy. But either way, like it's not Tua versus guys you could have had. It's Tua or guys that you possibly can have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not a conversation anymore. And to your point before, I got a couple friends that are Seahawks fans, right? And after week 1, they're dancing on the grave of Russell Wilson, saying like, see, told you this was a good decision. I told you we made the better decision, even though we only won this game because of 2 goal line fumbles and a weird 64-yard field goal, that bad clock management. Russell is not a guy. We're so much better off in the future with these picks, Marcel, these draft picks. I was like, who the hell have the Seahawks taken in the first round over the past 10 years that make you feel confident this team knows how to evaluate high-end talent? First of all, you had a great run.
Lately, they haven't drafted like they did early on.
No, they had a great run because of how they drafted, not necessarily up top, but the middle rounds. I mean, they got Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson in like the 3rd and 4th rounds. Like they built their team.
Yeah, Sherman was a 5th round
dynasty with this to become this dynasty.
Yeah,
and then but ever since they hit the top, they did nothing to keep adding to the bottom of the incline. So the ground came out under them. And now they're mortal. It's a mortal franchise. Yeah. So it's like it might look bad, but at the same time, finding a quarterback is hard. And Russell Wilson and his weird Hollywood behavior, and it's not going over well in that locker room at all. And Seattle kind of created the monster there, but that's a conversation for a different day. But I refuse to believe that Russell Wilson can't play football anymore. So they're celebrating, oh, see how bad he is? Told you we're better off. And Gino looks good right now. I hope it lasts for his sake, for their sake. I hope it lasts. But finding a franchise quarterback is damn hard. And you can go, that wait between finding one can go from 2 seasons to 20 seasons, as the franchise that we're talking about right now, the Dolphins, have found out. I mean, what year did Dan Marino retire? What, like 2000, give or take?
99.
So 20 years. Took 20 years to get a quarterback.
Oh, it is right. They dropped him a couple years ago. So yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
So I was like, look, man, like you can be happy. I don't want to see none of this celebrating, dancing on the grave. We were right, banging on your chest. You were right about shit. We will see if they can move on past it. But yeah, that's immediately what I think when you name all these: Chad Henne, Pat White, Cleo Lemon. Who else? Who am I missing? Tannehill.
It's a lot of names. It's a lot of names.
More.
Lot of names.
Quarterback is hard. It is a hard business. It's one of the hardest things to do in this league because so much is predicated on finding that quarterback. Jobs are won and lost, or are extended and lost. So, yeah. Well, I think they got something that they got something into it. They got something into it. If you want to, look at the other side of the grass and swear that it's greener, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not a fortune teller, but I think that bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? That's how the whole saying goes.
Mm-hmm. Are you picking them this week?
I don't know. I think we see an improved Skylar Thompson. The Vikings are good, man. The Vikings are good. I didn't think they were. Preseason, I had this an easy win for Miami. Easy win. I like Kirk Cousins.
If they're healthy, Tua and X and Armstead, they win this game.
Yeah, like fully healthy, I would still have had this. This is a Dolphins win.
Fully healthy, they're 6-0 after this.
I'm just not. I am not sure. I am not sure about Sunday. I'm not sure about Sunday as currently constructed.
That's fine.
I think it'll be competitive. I don't think they're getting blown out. Just like, last week wasn't a blowout either. Somehow, man, every time I tweet, it becomes a nesting ground for the AFC East. It's never just Dolphins fans. It's Bills fans. I get Patriots fans. I get Jets fans.
It's your Bills underwears. That's everybody knows you're wearing Bills underwears. So it kind of spurs it up. That's the problem.
Some Jets fan yesterday asked me what the point of the whole of bringing up the ping pong table story was. So what the hell is the point of you being here? Who are you? Don't tell me how to cover this team. You don't even like this team.
The ping pong story or the ping pong table doesn't mean anything.
I think it was stupid. I had to write about it at 11 o'clock last night. Like I don't.
That's not stopping them from winning. What's stopping them from winning is that Tua's not healthy, X is not healthy, Teron Armstead's not healthy. That's what's stopping them from winning.
You want an investigative report on the ping pong? Like, hey, about Melvin Ingram wrote himself in as the winner of their ping pong tournament bracket.
Like, I heard
we feel better about knowing this. It's ridiculous.
I heard that the one Tyreek Hill is buying now to bring to the locker room, it will have a seat in the middle for a referee. And I heard that you're the guy that's going to be the guy refereeing the ping pong tournaments.
If they pay me better than ESPN does, then who knows, man? I might go full time.
I don't know, but that's what I was told. They needed somebody neutral. They didn't want another player in the locker room being the referee. So this is supposedly like a really elaborate ping pong table that you're going to be officiating. It's amazing. Nice job by you.
I will say, though, just cool ping pong stuff. I know that Tyreek did buy everybody a custom paddle. But I think that is kind of cool. Or give everybody. I don't know if he actually bought it. Or if a company said, hey, we'll give you these if you can hand them out. Right. But whatever. The team, everybody on that team has their own paddle courtesy of Tyreek Hill. It would track that he is bringing in a custom table as well.
With a chair, with a referee chair.
But they're far from the only team. Look, the Bills used to have they played FIFA and shit in the locker room, right?
There he is. The Bills again.
Until the reporter told on them and said, you would never see the Patriots doing this. And then they yanked that system right out. So, that's why nobody talks about the damn ping pong table, because nobody wants to ruin the fun in the locker room. I don't want to ruin this for them. I don't want to make it into a bigger deal than it has to be. And now I feel like they can't be themselves in their locker room. It's not what's the point? So,
free the pong.
They play a lot.
Yeah, nothing wrong with ponging a little bit, bro.
Ping pong, man. I would play a lot too if I had one.
Damn, if someone got hit in the head by a ping pong ball, do they go on concussion protocol? That's a good question. What happens there, huh? Tell me. What happens if you get hit by a
I don't know.
baseball ball? Does ataxia
is there a
set in?
spotter? Is there a spotter in the locker room? Is the point?
Yeah. By the way, that spotter's a son of a bitch. He cost the Dolphins. He knocked Teddy out for the Jets game and this game. Like, that's terrible, dude. That's irresponsible of the league to have a spotter that's going to cost you a player for 2 weeks, and it wasn't accurate.
Kind of still waiting for an explanation from the league for that. Our NFLP or our PFWA head, I will not name him. You can ask Alan about it later. Maybe Alan will do it, but I won't. Has asked the NFL repeatedly for a statement or any sort of further information. We have not gotten it yet. It has been 4 days.
They're trying, crafting a lie. It's not easy, bro. You've got to get crafty in crafting a lie. So you got to give them a little time there, Marcel. Don't be pushy of the NFL. They got to craft their lie for you. Okay.
It's just crazy. Like, how long could it possibly take? Hey, what is your statement? Our spotter thought that he saw this man stumble. We're in a position right now where we want to err on the side of caution. If this was a mistake, and if thankfully he passed concussion protocol, our spotter was misguided. Mistakes like this are going to happen as we try to over prioritize player safety moving forward.
Yeah. No, I got you. But it's just
give me 110. No, it's the NFL. Give me 130 a year, and I'll go do that for y'all every week so that you don't have to lead people on. It's not that hard.
What they're doing is they craft a lie, and you know how they do with TV shows, right? They create the pilot, and then they show the pilot to a test audience, right? And then the audience tells you, and then that's how they get a feel for, this sitcom's going to work or not going to work. So that's what the NFL is doing. They're crafting a lie, and then they bring in an audience, and they tell them the lie, and then they get the reaction. And if it's a little mixed and they don't like, we got to go back to the drawing board and craft a new lie. And so I think that's what's been going on, Marcel. The test audiences have been shooting down one lie after another, and it just hasn't sounded convincing enough. So once it gets back to one of those test audiences that says, that's some good bullshit, then you'll get your statement. That's it.
You know what is kind of funny, though? And, sorry if I'm talking about y'all in the comments. If this was you, it's just something that I've noticed. I might not respond to everything. I respond to a lot. Not everything, but I see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The same people who saw the NFL's report come out on Saturday and said, you see, the NFL cleared the Dolphins of any wrongdoing. The NFL's telling the truth. Why not? What do you mean there may or may not be discipline? The NFL just said this.
Yep.
The next day, 12 hours later, maybe 16 hours later, the NFL doesn't want the Dolphins to win. The NFL is rigged. The NFL is a lot. Y'all want to believe everything that they say, then go ahead. Like, y'all don't want to look at things with a healthy bit of skepticism, then go ahead.
Right.
Then go ahead. But the flip-flopping of either the league tells the truth 100% of the time, or they don't. Like, you can't be on either side. You got to pick one. You got to pick an angle here.
It doesn't go like that. It doesn't go like that in this world.
I tell you, when you see two organizations,
you've got a group of people in this world that they want gun control. But then the same group of people are allowing you to steal $100 or less, and or they let you go on and create an autonomous zone where you knock out an entire police department. Same people, the same people that tell you don't tell me to wear a mask, will then tell you need to have you can't have an abortion. How about that? You can't tell me to wear a mask, but I can tell you can't have an abortion.
I will say
that's how it goes in this world, bro. The same people have two sides to every story. That's the way it goes.
I will say this here. When you see two organizations like that, like the NFL and NFLPA per se, and they come out with a joint statement after reports all week of saying that they're far apart, both sides have decided to compromise on something and come together for the greater good, or what they see as the greater good moving forward. That does not mean that both sides believe wholeheartedly everything that is in that statement. that means this is what we are willing to put our name on publicly. This is what we're willing to concede on. The NFL doesn't believe everything that was put out. The NFLPA doesn't believe everything that was put out. That's why before everything dropped, I'm having sources tell me that why the NFLPA fired the doctor, and that's why Alan Sills is coming out after the statement.
It's all PR.
This is why the NFL is coming out after the statement saying we would not have fired that doctor. We would not have done that. We thought it was a travesty that it happened. They don't agree on none of that. Like that statement is just a combination of concessions.
It's
basic. It does not 100% clear anybody of anything. It is a combination of concessions. That is it.
That's it. They're placating to the optics is all they're doing here, and that's what the NFLPA and the NFL is doing. And overall, their protocols weren't good enough, and they got exposed. So now they've got to do this whole dog and pony show.
And it's a legal issue. That's the NFL can't come out and say. That's why it's specifically crafted language. The outcome was not what the protocol is intended. Right. That does not say the protocol failed Tua, because they don't want 20 years from now, if Tua has something wrong with his head, to come back and say, well, you see how, remember when y'all admitted that your protocol was wrong? Mm-hmm. I want some money for my medical bills and my family. Now, I'm taking you to court for that. Right. They can't do that. That's why, like, everything is so specific. It's, especially when you're talking about the money that they work with, everything is worded so specifically for a reason. So I don't know, man. Look, there's a lot about this.
By the way, somebody said you need to be put on protocol because they just saw you stumble.
Like, man, I don't know if I'm stumbling over my words.
I don't know. Ataxia might be setting in there, bro. I don't know.
Look, it's a topic I like. It's a topic that I know a lot about, and it's a topic that I know a lot about, but can't publicly.
Let's not get into your drinking right now, okay?
Let's say a lot about
right now, okay? Let's not talk about your alcoholic issues and your ataxia on Fridays and Saturday nights. Now, let's not get into that.
I hope that one day I am going to be allowed to say it, and Big O going to interrupt me one day, and I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to start a Twitter Spaces for everybody else to get this information, and you're going to see. But no, like, I hope one day I do have the green light to say why this person was fired and why exactly the NFLPA felt like the guy made mistakes and wanted to fire him. I know exactly what it kills me. I didn't get into this to keep secrets, but I don't want to burn people. And until those people who told me say, look, man, green light, go ahead, then I am sworn to secrecy. And I'm sworn to say, look, from their perspective, he allowed Tua to go back in the game, and they didn't re-examine his back, and they felt like those were mistakes.
Well, you just got to have the juice that we have to go independent. That's all. That's it.
Yeah. Hey, look, man,
you're not tied to any corporateness out there. That's what we love here, that we're not tied to any corporateness out there. That's what I love.
I get it. Freedom. I respect that. But look, man, I very much like.
It's not easy. It's not easy, my brother.
It's not easy. And I like to check. I like to check I get every week. Respectfully. Yes. I'm allowed to do a lot of things that it was that I literally dreamed of. Like, I literally dreamed of practicing the mirror, doing this, that, and the third. So I have no complaints having a boss, especially when that boss gives me Disney World tickets. So, like, it's
there you go. That's
okay.
I'd work just for Disney World tickets all the time. That would be a perfect way to pay me. I would love that. All right, what are you working on ESPN so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, I got a story out. From Tuesday. I went out to Fort Myers to hand out hurricane supply. Watch the Dolphins hand out hurricane supplies and food and water to that community. Zaquandre White's alma mater, North Fort Myers High School, handed out 3,000 meals, man. I was there for a few hours, and it was a steady line of cars. There was no breaks, man, as far as you could see. Those people, and they were so happy to see these guys, so for a little more information on that story's up on ESPN. Got another one coming out on Skylar Thompson's outlook, why Sunday should be a different outcome. Not a different outcome, but it should look and feel different than last week's game against the Jets. Then working on a feature for the Sunday night game. For the primetime games, we got to have something special. So, hopefully be able to get that out by next weekend. And beyond that, man, I might just rest. I'm trying to flush this thing out. I'm about to pour another cup of emergency, down that, drink another glass of water, take a little, find some vitamin C. I think I got some D3 in there. I've got some elderberry in there, just everything flushing through. So that's what I'm working on, bro. I've been working. I don't think any team in the Dolphins, or besides the Dolphins, has been in the news more often for non-on-field related things than Miami.
What can I tell you? My media brethren come up with a lot of bullshit and a lot of fake narratives, and so you got Pro Football Talk talking that Tua's not even 190 pounds. I mean, it just come on, dude. It just
I've never seen Florio anywhere, bro. Like I've been anti-Florio since the Eric Reed shit in Carolina, man. I don't listen to PFT.
Like you're not claiming he's not even 190 pounds. Like, dude, have you ever stood next to the guy? It's like,
that's
come on,
crazy,
man. It gets. I've never seen this, dude. I've never seen
smallish, I guess, up top. Like he's small, but he is thickly built. Like his legs are tree trunks. I don't know what he squats, but like the guy is thickly built, like from lower half of his body.
Again,
like I don't just
never seen this, bro.
Places, man. PFT has so many millions of followers that don't translate to money. But let me stop.
I just never seen this treatment, bro. and it fires me up even more to defend the guy because of all the bullshit that goes on around him. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And don't forget, you can order myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet. 78 calories. That's it. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Go to myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O. You will get 10% off. You can only order it online and get it directly delivered to your home or office. myedgedrink.com. Save 10%. Use our code BIG-O. Thank you, Marcel. We'll talk post-game on Sunday, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yes, we will. All right, y'all.
Thank you. There you go. Marcel Louis-Jacques and our Edge energy drink, Miami Dolphins reports.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.